happening. Thank you. In this video, I am going to discuss with you about what do you mean by Python packages, and then I am going to discuss with you about generators. So what do you mean by generators? So what do you mean by a Python package? So firstly, I will be discussing with you about what do you mean by a Python package, and then I will be discussing with you about generators. So what do you mean by a package? So whenever I want to collect a large number of files in different folders and subfolders based on some criteria, so I can go for this package. So that I can find and manage them easily. Clear with this? So what do you mean by a package? So what is the use of this package? So whenever I am going to organize a large number of files and folders, so for example, whenever I am going to organize a large number of files in different folders and subfolders based on some criteria, clear? So I can go for this Python packages. Clear? So what do you mean by this Python package? For example, I am developing a bigger website. I am developing an employee, I am developing a website for an employee, some other organization. Or I am developing a website for some corporate company. Clear? So whenever I am developing some website, so I am going to organize them. So what is the use of this package? For example, in an employee website, so it contains some folders and subfolders. So what is the use of this package? So I am having an admin department. Whenever you consider any corporate company, so you can have an admin department. Or you can have some other types of department. For example, you can have financial department, marketing department. So you have several departments in a company. Clear with this? So I am going to create some separate subfolders for different departments in a company. So this is the use of package. So it contains the related files. So what is the role of an admin? So he is going to create, he is going to view what is the status of his employee or some other status. So that is the role of an admin person. Similarly, what is the role of some other person? Sales person, marketing person. So each and every department, he has got some specific roles. So the related files can be grouped in different folders and subfolders so that we can find them easily. So whenever I am going to the admin, so it contains all the classes related to the admin person. So admin servlet, that is adding an employee or deleting an employee, updating an employee. So all these are the different actions that are performed by an admin person. Similarly, whenever I am going for some other person, sales department, marketing department, so it contains the dot class files of different people. So what is the use of modules? So similarly, I am creating some separate packages. So whenever I am going to talk with you about packages, it contains different folders and subfolders so that we can find and manage them easily. Clear? So it contains one or more relevant modules. So how to create a package and how to organize the similar files into different folders and subfolders. So whenever I am going to create any new folder, for example, inside this D, I am creating a folder called My Application. So inside this, so this is how the package structure is being created. So this is one important concept in Python. So what do you mean by a package? Clear? So in my previous lecture, so I was discussing with you about iterators. What is the use of iterators and modules in Python? So in this, I am going to discuss with you about package. So what is the use of this Python package? What are all the different things that can be done using this Python package? Clear? So whenever I am going to create any folder, so inside my D drive, I am creating a folder called My App. So inside this, I can create some subfolder with the name My Package. I am going to create an init.py file. Clear with this? So I can create greet.py, functions.py. So it contains different .py files. So this is the main use of this package structure. So what do you mean by packaging something? For example, I have admin package. For example, I am developing a website for a banking industry or an insurance company. So I have a package called, so what are all the different people, admin people, sales department, marketing department. So what are all the different things I am going to perform. So I am going to create some separate packages. It contains some .class files. Clear with this? So what is the use of all these kind of packages? So this is one important concept in Python, packages. Similarly, who are all the other people? There will be a bank officer, loan officer. So all those are the different people that are present in a bank. So I am creating separate packages for different people present in a bank. So you can see here. So this is one simple example of a package structure. So under my D drive, I am just creating a folder called my app. And inside my app, I am creating a subfolder with the name my package. Clear? So inside this, I am creating a subfolder with the name my package. And then I am creating an init.py file. So what is the use of this init.py file? So inside this my package folder, I am creating an empty init.py file. And inside this, I am creating modules like greet.py and functions.py. So inside this greet.py, I am creating a function called say hello. Whenever I want to define any user defined function, I have to use the def keyword followed by the name of the function. So whatever is the name of the function, so I have to give the corresponding name of the function. So I have to use the def keyword followed by the name of the function. Clear with this? So I am giving this name. This is given as a parameter to my say hello function. Clear? So inside this hello, I am printing some name and functions.py. And inside this functions.py, so I am defining a sum function. So there is a function called sum function. Whenever I want to define any user defined function, so I have to use the def keyword followed by the name of the function. Clear? So I am defining a function called sum function, and x and y, these two are given as parameters to my sum function. Clear with this? So I am returning x plus y. And I am defining one more user defined function called average function. X and y, these two are given as parameters to my average function. And x plus y divided by 2. So I am adding these two numbers. It is divided by 2 total. And power function. So whenever I want to create any new package, so I am just creating a package called my package. So inside my D drive, so I have created an app called my app. And inside this my app, I have created a package called my package. So inside this my package, so I have this init.py, greet.py and then functions.py. So this is how my folder structure looks like. Clear with this? So you can see here, so whenever I want to import some module, so how I am going to do so? So for example, so inside this D, I am creating an app called my app and then I am creating a package called my package. Clear with this? So what is the use of this my app and my package? So this is how the folder structure looks like. So inside my app, so inside my D drive, so I have created a folder called my app, and inside this I have created a package called my package. Clear with this? So what is the use of all these things? For example, inside my documents, so you can see here my app, and I have created a package called my package. So you can see here inside this I have one more package MKAS. So inside this I have this greet.py and functions.py. For example, I am just opening this edit with idle. You can see here, so whenever I want to define any user defined function, I have to use the def keyword followed by the name of the function. I am just defining a user defined function called sum function, and x and y, these two are given as parameters to my sum function. I am adding these two values, so x and y, I am just printing this at the output. And whenever I want to compute any average, so I am using the def keyword followed by the name of the function. So I am defining a function called average function, and x and y, these two are given as parameters to my average function. So I am just returning x plus y by 2. So I am just returning the average. And I am defining a function called power function, and x and y, these two are given as parameters to my power function. So x power y, so this is returned at the output. Clear with this? So what is the use of functions.py? So what is the use of, for example, I have one more function called greet.py. So from MKAS, this is the package, so I am just importing the functions module. So whichever modules I want to import from MKAS, I am just importing the functions module. And whenever I want to define any user defined function, so I am using the def keyword followed by the name of the function. So I am passing this parameter. This is given as a parameter to my say hello function. So for example, using functions, so I have imported this functions module from MKAS. So functions dot sum function. So I am passing these two parameters or given as inputs to my sum function. Clear with this? So what are all the different things I am doing here? Just run this module. You can see here the addition of two numbers. This is being returned at the output. So this is the package. So from this package I am just importing this corresponding .py file. So this is the use of this package structure. So whichever modules or whichever .py files I want to import. So for example, you have different departments in a company. Clear? So an admin person in a corporate company, he wants to know the total sales of the company or the total revenue. So he need to import different files. So .py files from different departments. You can imagine, so what is the use of this package? I am just collecting the relevant files or similar files into different folders and subfolders. That is the use of this packages. Clear with this? So what do you mean by this packages? So from this picture, so this is a simple example of a package. Pictorially you can just understand what is the use of this package. So from this my application, so I am creating a package called my package. And then I am creating this init.py, greet.py and then functions.py. So from my package I am just importing the functions module and then I am calling sum function, power function. So what is the use of this init.py? So how the package structure, how it looks like. So what is the use of this init.py file? So it contains a special file called init.py. It stores the package contents. So whenever I want to store the package contents, it is stored in the init.py file. So it recognizes the folder as the package if it contains the init.py file. Clear with this? So what is the use of this init.py? So it exposes the specified resources from its modules to be imported. So I am just initializing. So what is the use of this init.py file? So I am just initializing. So it contains a special file called init.py. It stores the package content. So it exposes the specified resources from its module to be imported. And an empty init.py file, it makes all the functions from the above modules available when this package is imported. So it is essential for the folder to be recognized by Python as a package. So what is the use of this init.py? Clear with this? So I have to choose some specific functions from modules. So from dot functions I am importing average and then power. You can import any of the functions. So I want to print the power. So whichever functions you want to import, you can import any of the functions. Clear with this? So what is the use of this Python packages? So this is one important concept in Python. So what is the use of this Python packages? So in this I have shown you a simple example of this. So for example, inside this functions.py, let me just show you a simple example of this, what I am trying to do here. You can see here, so I have a sum function, I have an average function, and I have a power function. So whichever functions you have to call, so you have to use the function name and you have to call the corresponding function. For example, I am going with this greet.py. So instead of this, I am just calling this average function. Clear? So whatever is the average, so firstly I have to give here. So if I want to print the average, I am going to edit like this. Let me just show you. Instead of returning, so I am just giving a print statement. For example, I want to print the average. For example, I am just giving like this, print of x plus y by 2. And print of x power y. Clear with this? You can see here, so whatever is the average, this will be printed at the output. So all these are the different types of operations. So whenever I want to import the package and what are all the different things that can be done using this package. So setup.py. So for example, all these are the different things that can be done using this packages. So next I am going to discuss with you about generators. So what is the use of packages? So what are all the different things that can be done using this packages? So next I am going to discuss with you about generators. What do you mean by generators in Python? Let me just discuss with you about generators. So what do you mean by a generator? I have a generator function. So what do you mean by a generator? It is just like a normal function. I'm sorry. So what do you mean by a generator function? So all these are the important concepts you should be knowing about Python. So whenever I am going to discuss with you about Python, so all these are the important concepts you should be knowing about the Python language. So what do you mean by a generator function? So it is nothing like a normal function, but whenever it needs to generate a value, it does so with the yield keyword. Clear with this? So if the body of a def contains yield, the function automatically becomes a generator function. So instead of just returning some value, so what is the difference between an iterator and a generator? So for example, it is going to yield value. So we have to use the yield keyword in case of generator. So this is a simple example for the first time whenever I am calling this simple generator fun. So whenever I want to define any user defined function, I have to use the def keyword followed by the name of the function. I am just defining a user defined function called simple generator fun. So whenever I want to define any user defined function, I have to use the def keyword followed by the name of the function. Clear with this? So I am just using the def keyword followed by the name of the function. You can see here. So I am using this def keyword followed by the name of the function. So simple generator fun. And first time it is going to yield the value 1, second time it is going to yield the value 2, and third time it is going to yield the value 3. Clear with this? So what is the use of this generators? Let me just show you a simple example of this generators in Python. So whenever I want to define any user defined function, I have to use the def keyword followed by the name of the function. I am defining a user defined function called simple generator fun, colon. So it is going to yield some value. The first time I am going to call this function, it is going to yield the value of 1. And second time whenever I am going to call this function, it is going to yield the value of 2. And third time whenever I am going to call the function, it is going to yield the value of 3. Clear with this? So what is the use of this generator function? So what are the different things that can be done using this generator function? So all these are the different things that can be done using this generator function. So whatever I want to do, so I can do so using this generator function. Clear? Am I making sense? So for value in simple generator fun, so I am picking each and every value in the simple generator fun, and then I am printing the value at the output. So you can see here. So I am picking each and every value in this simple generator fun. I am iterating and I am printing each and every value at the output. Clear with this? So what is the use of this generator function? So I can use a generator object in a for loop. So they can return a generator object. You can see here, for example, I am just yielding. You can go for this next. So this is one more way. What is the use of generator object with next? So I can call the next function. So I am yielding some 3 values or 4 values. So I can call the next method on the generator object. You can see here. So whenever I am going to call next method, so in the first case this is a simple generator. So why we have to go for generators? What is the main purpose of going for this generator? So whenever I want to generate some sequence, I don't know the ending iteration, ending stream value, so I can go for this generators. So I can just call the next function, I can yield some values, generate some values. For example, I want to generate a Fibonacci series, so I don't know the ending stream. So how many times I am calling the next function, that many values it will yield. That is the main use of this generators. So why I have to go for different concepts? What is the use of iterators? In case of iterators, I have to initialize an iterator and then I have to pass the next value and then I have to increment. Whereas in case of generator, it is going to just yield the value. You can see here. So I can loop through the value and can print each and every value. Clear with this? I am just calling the next function. This is one more way. I am iterating over the generator. So instead of using a for loop, first I am just instantiating this generator, simple generator fun, and then using next function I can print how many values are there in the generator. It will be printed at the output. So it is a more simpler form of an iterator. So based on my requirement, first I need to see if I have the starting point, ending point, if I don't know the destination. For example, in the banking industry or an e-commerce industry, the customers are going to add every day. So I have to put it in a list or a sequence. So I can just put it in a generator. So whenever new customers are enrolling, so I want to know the customer ID and the customer name. So I can just give next. So I don't know the ending sequence. Clear with this? So I want to record. So I can just put it in a generator. It is going to yield some values with the help of next function. That is the main difference between an iterator and a generator. This is one more example of a generator. I will just show you a simple example of this generator, what I am trying to do here. So I am defining a function called simple generator fun, and then I am going to yield some values 1, 2 and then 3. So I am just initializing this function, defining this function simple generator fun, and then the next values, for example next of x. So this will be printed at the output. Clear with this? So what do you mean by a generator? For example, if I want to print the Fibonacci series, so using next method, so I can just print this Fibonacci series. So what are all the different applications? So let me just show you one more example. So the generator function returns a generator object, that is iterable. So what do you mean by iterable? So I can just iterate through the generator objects. I can pick each and every item present in the generator list and it will be displayed at the output. So Fibonacci of 5, so this will be printed at the output. Whenever I want to define any user defined function, I have to use the def keyword followed by the name of the function. Clear? So I am just using this def keyword followed by the name of the function. So I am defining a user defined function called fib function, and the corresponding limit, this is given as a parameter to my fib function. So whatever is the parameter, so I have to give the corresponding parameter. So a limit, this is given as a parameter to my fib function. So firstly I am just initializing this a comma b equal to 0 comma 1. So I am initializing the first two Fibonacci numbers. After initializing the Fibonacci numbers, I am checking for this limit. Well, a is less than this limit, so I am just yielding the a value. So a b equal to b comma a plus b. One by one yielding the next Fibonacci series. So I am creating a generator object. You can see here whatever is the limit. I want to print some 5 numbers. And using the next function, I am iterating over the generator object. Clear? I am iterating using a for loop and every I value will be printed at the output. Clear with this? So what do you mean by this generators concept? So using yield value, firstly I am initializing and then I am incrementing. So for example a comma b equal to, so b comma a plus b. So I am just generating the Fibonacci sequence. I am putting in a, firstly I am initializing, I am checking for some condition, I am yielding the value and then I am going for this next function. Clear with this? For example, instead of 5 I can give here as 10. Here I am just printing here as 10. So I have to give 10 numbers instead of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I am going to print some 10 numbers. So I have to give that many print text. Clear with this? So what is the use of this generator function? This is one more important concept in Python, generators. Clear with this? So what is the use of this generators? What are the different things I am going to do here? So once I am going to pass the limit, so whatever is the limit, for example fib of 10 or fib of 5. Clear? So I am going to iterate using a for loop and this will be printed at the output. So all these are the different ways of using a generator object. So I can print some 5 numbers or I can give the corresponding limit here. Just click the run button and you can see the corresponding output. So what are all the different applications of this generator? For example, I am going to create a stream of Fibonacci numbers. I am going to adopt the generator approach. I have to call the next of x in order to get the next Fibonacci number. So I don't know the ending iteration. Clear? So I want to get the next number. So in that case, I can go for this Fibonacci sequence. So this is one important application of generators. It provides a space efficient method for data processing. So only the parts of file are handled at one given point in time. So all these are the important applications of going for this generators. Space efficient approach. Quick way to store and retrieve files. Clear with this? So what is the use of this generator? What is the difference between a generator function and a normal function? So all these are the differences between a generator function and a normal function. So once the function yields the function control, the function is passed and the control is transferred to the caller. Clear? So the local variables and their states are remembered between successive calls. Finally, when the function terminates, stop iteration is raised automatically on further calls. Clear with this? So what is the difference between a generator function and an iterator? That is, all these are the applications. It provides a quick way. So when compared to iterators, they are quicker and faster. So that is the main reason for going for this generators. Clear? So what are all the important applications? So all these are the different applications of going for this generators. So this is one simple example. Alright. So I gave you different examples of going for this generator. So all these are the different examples. So I want to print the characters in my string. So far I was discussing with you about numbers. So if I can just use the generators with strings as well. So if I want to character, so I can give my string of I. So I yield. So I have to give yield function with string as well. Clear? So this is one example of playing around with strings. I can use generators in string. For example, I want to reverse the characters of an input string. I can create a generator like this. So whenever I want to define any user defined function, I have to use the def keyword followed by the name of the function. So my string, this is given as a parameter to my reverse string. So I am just taking the length of my input string. So length minus 1, minus 1, minus 1. So I am going to print the characters in the reverse order. So I am picking each and every character in my reverse string. So hello, from this I am picking each and every character, and this will be displayed at the output. Clear with this till this part whatever I am speaking? So today I just covered with packages and generators. These two are one important concepts in Python language. So what is the use of packages and what is the use of generators? Clear? So what is the use of packages and what is the use of generators? So with this, I am just stopping this video. I hope I am clear with my topics. So in today's topics, I was discussing with you about what is the use of packages, how to create packages in Python. And then I started with generators. What is the use of generators? I hope I am clear with my topics. Remaining things, I will just continue in my next videos. Thank you all.